Hello, this is Father David, here with day 26 of Great Lent 2023. The meditation today comes from the sayings of the Desert Fathers. And this is a saying from Saint Moses of Petra, Abba Moses of Petra, and Abba Isidore, who were two of the Desert Fathers whose sayings are collected to a degree within this wonderful treasure trove of patristic and ascetical wisdom. So the saying today says this: Abba Moses of Petra was terribly embattled by pornea. No longer strong enough to remain in his cell, he went and reported to Abba Isidore. The elder begged him to return to his cell, but he would not accept that, saying, "Abba, I haven't the strength." So he took him and brought him up onto the housetop with him and said to him, "Look to the west." He looked up and saw an innumerable host of demons. They were milling around together and shouting, ready for battle. Then Abba Isidore also said to him, "Look to the east." He looked and saw innumerable hosts of glorious holy angels. Then Abba Isidore also said, "Here," which really means something like, "Look, pay attention. These are they who are sent by the Lord to help the holy ones. Those who are in the west are they who are fighting against them. Those who are on our side are more numerous." When he had given thanks to God for this, Abba Moses took courage and returned to his own cell. So the Desert Fathers are full of things like this, where one person will come to another person and request aid, prayer, encouragement, help, human companionship. A lot of these Desert Fathers were hermits. They lived the majority of the time all alone with their own thoughts and demons and prayers and spiritual battle. And one will encourage the other, and they'll go away edified, built up, right? So the first thing I would say is, this is not something that is only appropriate for monks, for hermits living out in the desert. This is appropriate for every Christian. And in fact, it is something that is essential for every Christian. We are not called to be Lone Ranger Christians, to enter into the spiritual warfare of Great Lent on our own. This is something that we have to avail ourselves of. If you're in your parish church and you have someone, anyone, now it could be your parish priest, but oftentimes that relationship is not one of friendship, at least it probably shouldn't be. You can do things with your priest that are things that friends might do together, but it's not an equal relationship. You have to be able to tell your priest everything, and your priest won't be able to do that more than likely with you. So it's good to establish, and I'd say, again, it's essential. Find someone in your parish church that you can befriend. If that is not for some reason untenable, it's not happening. You know, people can make friends with Orthodox Christians online, although with anything online you have to be careful with that, including YouTube videos, I suppose. But companionship, some kind of togetherness where you can encourage one another. I love it when I see it in my parish here, where person number one has been away for a few weeks or sick or downcast, and person number two goes to visit them and says, let me take you out bowling. It happened. Or if you've been sick, I'm going to come over and take you to the doctor's office. These are the kind of things that can just be eminently practical, but beautiful ways, not only to serve, but that another person might know and be reminded that they're not alone, that the community of the church, indwelt by the Holy Spirit, is there for their building up, for their edification, the word is. The second thing I would say relating to this particular saying is that in this particular case, now all kinds of different thoughts, we've talked about those, logismos, or the plural of logismi, which are sort of picture thoughts. Nowadays, people are calling them intrusive thoughts. It's good, I think, that our culture is acknowledging them, even if they're not acknowledging where many of them come from, the evil one. But there is, although by no means, by the way, is that exclusive. Many of them can just bubble up out of our own hearts. However, Abba Moses was struggling against porneia. Now, we can probably guess, if you don't already know what that means, based on the proliferation of pornography within our society, that porneia is the Greek word that is, it's really an umbrella term that encompasses all kinds of sexual sin, sexual perversion. It's really a catch-all term. You know, anything that would drive a person to lust after another human being, that would drive your sexual appetites out of control or misdirect them into something that is non-reality, you know, as pornography does, or something that is not according to the way that we were created as male and female to become one flesh in marriage. Anything that would inflame us to anything outside of that, of heterosexual monogamous marriage, is under the umbrella of porneia. And so he struggled mightily with this, and truly, you know, every monk will always have his particular cross to bear. And of course, we know porneia is rampant within our society. I would say that if this is the case with you, please, and this, by the way, male or female, please do not have shame about getting help. Reach out to your parish priest. If it's mentioned in confession, you have absolutely a guarantee that the priest swore to at the oath of his ordination never to share anything like that. And so you can get help. You can also, and this is very, of course, a very dear friendship that would be able to, house this kind of conversation. But it's very healing, it can be, to know that you are not alone in whatever struggle that it is. Porneia, of course, we said, it's a big umbrella. And there's lots of ways, myriad ways, that our sexual appetites can get abused, bloated out of proportion, twisted, which is really what perversion means, just a twisting of what was straight and normal. But this is something that it's okay to get help with. There's also programs, things like Fight the New Drug and Covenant Eyes, that, in fact, I may just put the links in the bio for this, or links in the description for those two programs, to get help and accountability with this, because it can be an incredibly difficult thing to overcome. At any rate, let us, through the prayers of Abba Moses and Abba Isidore, let us get the help we need. Let us fight against porneia, and let us always remember the final thing, that those who are for us, the angels fighting on our behalf, our guardian angel, are so much more numerous than those who fight against us. As it says in the New Testament, greater is he who is in us than he who is in the world. Take courage, continue the good fight, and get help when you need it. So God bless you, Lord willing. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.